And I just had a feeling that if I had experienced not being able to make friends, that other people probably experience the same thing. Alright, so those are all my safety things. Um, what I like to start every run club out with is I like to break everyone up, and I want you to introduce yourself to one new person, and you're gonna think back on this past week and think about one good thing that happened this past week. I like to call it my peachiest part of the week. So take a second and think about the best thing that happened this past week. Meet a new friend. I'll give you guys a couple minutes, and then we will stretch and get running. Okay? So, Sunrise Social Club is a community-based club in Richmond, Virginia. It's mostly a run club. So, the core of what we do is we have a weekly run club. But I also do other activities, such as I do a coffee club here at Parousia, and I host hikes and other social events. So, it's just a way to bring people together, usually around my favorite thing, which is the sunrise and the sunset. But yeah, so it's expanding beyond Richmond now, but right now it is a mostly a Richmond-based run club. I think that as I've gotten older and gotten a lot more interests and hobbies, I'm way more confident in myself and who I am as a person, whereas I used to feel really bad about the fact that I felt like I didn't have that friend group that it seemed like everyone else had. And now because I have so many hobbies and activities that I do, I'm surrounded by a lot of like-minded people and I feel very secure in myself. And I just love the people that I'm surrounded by. I'd say when I was younger, I was very, very independent. I always had an idea of what I wanted to do, and if there wasn't something that was out there for me, I just tended to create it. So I've always been a person that just likes to create, and has a vision for what I want to do. And if it doesn't exist, then I just make it myself. I switched from my public school where I had a lot of friends that I had grown up with, and then I switched to a college prep private school, and I found the transition really, really difficult, honestly. It was hard for me to make friends, and that's why I really leaned into joining clubs and academic groups and things of that nature. So my junior year, I studied abroad in Australia. I left for my spring semester, so I didn't know anyone that I was studying abroad with. Nobody from my university was studying abroad in Sydney. So I already knew that I was going to know absolutely nobody. I knew that Sydney had a very active culture, which is why I chose the location, because I wanted to incorporate my hobbies with also my studies, and run clubs had just taken off on social media. I was seeing them pop up everywhere, and I was so nervous. I was really, really nervous to go to my first run club, and I showed up and they were so welcoming and friendly. And I realized that I really enjoyed the run club scene and how diverse the community was and different athletic abilities through those like 2 weeks that I was joining all the run clubs I could find on social media. I could always find one little thing that I wanted to change, and I figured I could probably just start my own and do everything that I'm envisioning.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I started the club in February 2024 in Australia. It was 2 weeks after I landed in Australia on the 2nd, and I started the run club on the 15th of February in 2024. And I honestly did not think too much about it. In hindsight, I would think that I would be super nervous, but I think I was just so excited to be surrounded by a lot of people who were up early. They were all watching the sunrise anyways. I think there was just so much energy and excitement that I didn't think twice about it. And I had found a friend who wanted to help me lead it. So I think that gave me a lot of confidence in it. I mean, we didn't have anything going on yet. And then my friend had been in Australia for a couple more months than I had been. So he knew more people. And so he started recruiting everyone. He was super social. He was just telling people, everyone come to Bondi Beach at 5:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. And I did the same with everyone that I had met at run clubs. And then we just hoped that people would show up. And I think the first ever run club had about 10 people. There was a girl who came to one of the first run clubs. She had just seen it on social media, and pretty similarly, she had just moved to Sydney. She saw my TikTok and she showed up, and then she started coming every single week, and we ended up becoming best friends in Australia. And then a year later, we ran the Honolulu Marathon together, which is just really sweet that we both flew from opposite sides of the world, to come together and run a marathon together, and we had met in Australia at this little run club that I decided to start, and I just think about it all the time that if I hadn't started this, I probably would have never met her.
Morning. It is August 29th, 2024, my first day of ever hosting Sunrise Social Club in Richmond, Virginia. I'm a little nervous. It is currently 5 a.m.
So,
and
when
getting
thinking
people
about
to
making an inclusive environment, I always take it back to what I feel joining a new group and how I want to feel talking to new people, and what it's like to feel like everyone knows what they're doing and you're a new outsider. So one of the things that I always love to do at the beginning of every single run club is have everyone introduce themselves to at least one new person, and I have them tell the other person their name and then their favorite part of this past week. And then that always catapults the conversation, and then immediately they have at least one new connection, and I think that's a really, really great icebreaker. But aside from that, I also every single Instagram post, if you look at it, it always says all paces, all people. So I really, really try to emphasize that it doesn't matter your age, your pace, your race, anything, that anyone is part of the community. There's so many pros and cons to social media use. I think in a negative sense, it's a way that people get in a comparison trap. It's isolating, it's mind numbing, and it results in people not even wanting to leave their bedroom. Whereas on the other side, it can be inspiring and bring people together and let you know what's going on in your community. And I really, really try to target the people that are just mindlessly scrolling on their phones and then they see something that they can do in the community and have real life friendships, because I think that's so important. I think it's human nature to need human connection.
Before coming to this club, I did not know anybody from Richmond. I had no friends here, so I kind of just ran by myself and I hung out with my husband and just did a lot of things on my own. But now I have that community to do things with other people around Richmond.
I feel like COVID really did a number on a lot of people, like socially. It definitely impacted me in terms of being brave to like go put yourself out there and make new connections.
I know in your 20s and after college, it's really hard to meet new people and like go up to somebody and say, "Hi, I'm Selena. Who are you? What are you up to? What do you like to do?"
I had a desire to be a part of like the running community when I started running. And I don't know if it's just like when you're running alone and you're maybe like you're starting out and you're not really sure if you're even running correctly. Or like, oh, I'm run walking. Like, does that even count as running? The running community in Richmond is just so nice. And so I think I just wanted to keep reaching for that.
And the fact that I was able to find this run club like after I graduated, kind of in a limbo time of my life, I really just think that it helped me be more like courageous to just seek out new connections and relationships. And I've made friendships here. It's pushed me to go out of my comfort zone. And I'm kind of shy and like a little bit introverted, but I feel like it's opened me up from my shell a little bit better. So yeah.
I hosted Sunrise Social Club in the Outer Banks, and I have lived there the past 3 summers that I was in college, and I always felt like it was incredibly hard to make friends. I worked so much that I never really made friends outside of my work, and then when I moved there this past summer, I had already started Sunrise Social Club in Richmond, and I was like, "Why not just start another chapter there? It's what I love to do. I can bring people together." So I started this all-girls walking club at Sunrise. So we just walk on the beach and chat. It was a really easy way for girls to meet each other, and at the end of the summer, one of the girls came up to me and she told me that her New Year's resolution had been to make one friend that year. And up until that summer, she thought that she was not going to make a friend. And then she told me that she started hosting dinner parties for all the friends that she had made at Sunrise Social Club. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing, and she was talking about how she had so many friends that she didn't even have enough seats in her kitchen to seat everyone, and that it was just such an incredible thing, and oh my gosh, I tear up thinking about it 'cause, just, like, knowing that I was able to foster such meaningful relationships with people that otherwise might not have ever met. I started the coffee club in the Outer Banks last summer, so I started a free cafe out of the back of my truck, um, because I always teetered with the idea of if I wanted to open a cafe, because a big thing about run clubs is that usually the socializing is not happening while you're running because you're huffing and puffing and not actually able to talk. So if you're going on a sunrise run, it just made sense to go get coffee afterwards. So that's where the idea sparked for coffee, and I just love coffee. So then I started working here and I wanted to bring back coffee club, but I was already hosting 2 events a week, a sunrise social club, a sunrise run, and a sunset run. And then when it got too cold to run in the morning, when it started to be 20 degrees in the morning and the numbers were just dropping week by week, I was like, "Okay, let me just start the coffee club over again." I absolutely love working as a barista. I think in a lot of senses it is people's third space. Like you see people coming to hang out with their friends and people going on first dates and then people that are working from home that want to just be surrounded by people. They come here to find a little sense of community, and I love that a lot of my job is chit-chatting with people and learning about them, and I learn all the regulars, like, everyday drinks, and it makes people feel seen, um, and taken care of, and I love the environment that coffee shops provide for people. I've made so many of my closest friends through Sunrise Social Club, which is a really, really special thing as someone who always struggled to find friends that I felt like I wanted to spend time with outside of school and sports and things. And now I feel like I can host little girls' nights and do things like that, which is really special.
ABA just brings together such a great community of people. There's so many different types of people in different walks of life here, and I actually met my best friend at this club, and she met her fiance now, and me and my husband actually both come to this club, and we all met our best friends here. And one of my friends was in my wedding that I met from here, and me and Ava have been super close. So it's been awesome.
It embraces like all of like people. Like it doesn't matter if you're a mom. It doesn't matter if you're like we've had people that are a whole family coming. Uh, it doesn't matter if your high school's like seniors have come before.
It's been so great, like making friends at Sunrise Social Club. It's such a great way to meet people.
She's just created that environment that is like people are attracted to, people are craving, especially after COVID, probably.
I always hope that people feel like they have a place there and that it really doesn't matter your pace or your background or your age or anything. And to me, what matters is that you took the time to show up for you and then also the other people in the greater community because it would be nothing if people didn't show up. So every single person serves a purpose there. And they're making someone's day brighter by being there, and I think that's what I hope people take away from it, and that it's not really about the running, it's about showing up for your community, showing up for yourself, and doing something really positive, and you get to see a beautiful sunrise or sunset, which I think way too many people miss out on, so that's my favorite part of the run club. I think leading Sunrise Social Club has given me so much purpose and direction in my life that before I started leading this club, fitness was a huge part of my life, but it was more just centered around me and my goals and what I wanted to do. And now I think I lead with a bigger purpose of inspiring other people and bringing people together, and I'm still doing the things that I love, but I'm doing them from a different perspective and a different mission, which has really, really changed my mindset around almost every single thing I do and how I lead every day. I will definitely be doing Sunrise Social Club to some capacity, hopefully for the rest of my life. It's what I really love to do, and it's what I look forward to doing and thinking about every single day. So yeah, that's the directionally where we're heading. I think it's worth pursuing and trying to figure out how to make my dreams a reality.